Right now, the two candidates for U.S. Senate square off in their first debate. A full recap coming up. And the Waukesha Christmas Parade trial continues as witnesses take the stand for questioning.
And it's a chilly morning out there as temperatures are around freezing, but I'll give you an indication how warm they'll get this weekend and how even warmer they'll get by Monday and Tuesday.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on Weekend Mornings. I'm Shane Hogan. This is Greg Barnhart. Hope you've got your hot coffee joining us today. It's a cold one out there, Greg. Last time I checked, 30. What did we got here on the map? 33 degrees.
Yes,
and
it's actually there's actually 20s out there. So it is definitely a lot of areas saw their first freeze or frost last night. Right now we're still hovering. We've climbed up a degree or two in most locations as the sun comes up. So that'll be the trend. Overall, satellite just indicates real clear skies, lighter winds. We do have a system well to the north. That'll provide some cloud cover here. But other than that, we're still looking pretty good. Visibility issues overall good, but there are a few areas. Once again, Wisconsin River area down to Platteville has some visibility issues down to 0 if you're in that area. Use caution. Otherwise, 39 degrees at Madison right now. We should climb up to about 55 by 2 p.m. And winds will definitely pick up. That's one thing you'll notice, but it'll be out of the west today. And 35 degrees La Crosse, same story. Winds will pick up out of the west, southwest, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures climbing up near 60 by this afternoon. There's your high temperatures. Overall, around 60, mid to upper 50s. A little bit below average, but getting there closer. And then overall, we should see warmer temperatures as we get further on, and I'll break all that down here in a little bit in the broadcast.
All right, looking forward to those warmer temps, but pretty average for the season right now.
Not too bad.
Okay.
We're pretty much in the where we should be this time of year.
All right, Greg, we'll check back in just a little bit. Thank you.
Right.
Well, we're going to start this morning with the developing story out of Sun Prairie, where a teacher at Prairie View Middle School has been booked into the Dane County Jail for possession of child pornography. An investigation determined 34-year-old Matthew Quaglieri had been using electronic devices to record students in the bathroom over a period of time. In an email to parents and staff, the district said the investigation was prompted after a male student reported feeling uncomfortable and may have been recorded in a restroom. Investigators are still processing additional evidence and are working to determine the identities of any additional victims. The Sun Prairie School District is fully cooperating. Quaglieri has been suspended amid the investigation. A motorcyclist died in a crash on State Highway 59 in eastern Rock County Friday night. It happened around 6:15 p.m. in the town of Lima. Officials say the motorcyclist, a 30-year-old Janesville man, was trying to pass multiple vehicles, including a semi-truck. After swerving to avoid an oncoming vehicle, he hit the rear driver's side of the semi. The man died at the scene. His name has not been released. To campaign 2022 now, the two U.S. Senate candidates sparred last night in the first televised debate of the general election. Our political reporter Will Keneally was there and has the recap.
It was a face-off between incumbent Ron Johnson and challenger Mandela Barnes. And it was just that, Barnes challenging Johnson over his record, like on Social Security.
And Social Security, Medicare would be at the top of the priority list. I've never, ever said I would cut it or put it in the chopping block. That is a false attack.
Called it a Ponzi scheme and
sir?
called it candy.
Lieutenant Governor, this is his time.
Johnson floated a plan to take Social Security and Medicare out of the mandatory spending budget and put it in the rest of the discretionary budget. That drew criticism from Democrats.
I want to save Social Security. I want to save Medicare. The greatest threat to Social Security Medicare is the completely out of control deficit spending.
The two also clashed on the issue of abortion, which Democrats have been pushing as a key issue in this election. In the wake of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, Johnson advocated for a statewide referendum on abortion.
This is a profound moral issue, and it shouldn't be decided by 9 justices, not 535 members of Congress, and quite honestly, not even 132 members of the Wisconsin State Legislature.
This past week, the legislature blocked a move to allow that referendum to happen.
The senator knows very well that the referendum won't happen with the legislature we have now. This is him trying to run away from his dangerous, out-of-touch, and extreme position.
This is the first of 3 debates that the candidates will participate in. Reporting from Milwaukee, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
The candidates for governor will meet next Friday for a debate here in Madison. Republican candidate for Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District, Eric Van Orden, is meeting with law enforcement to discuss crime and drug abuse. Current U.S. Rep. Brian Stile joined Van Orden in La Crosse for the meeting to discuss how these issues impact their communities. Van Orden says the key to addressing crime and drug abuse is communication.
it's incredibly important that we're operating in, we're synced together to make sure that we can have the most positive effect from the federal government at the state and local level.
Current La Crosse County Sheriff Jeff Wolf was not in attendance. The Democrat running for the 3rd Congressional District seat, Brad Pfaff, says Van Orden doesn't share Western Wisconsin values. Pfaff pointed to Van Orden's time in Washington during the January 6th Capitol riot. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer and Wisconsin Representative Gwen Moore joined Pfaff for a press conference Friday. Pfaff says this race is about choosing someone who will put Western Wisconsin first.
What the people have shared with me is, Brad, this cannot continue. We cannot have somebody that was out there and part of that.
Van Orden did not respond to Pfaff's comments about January 6th. Instead, he sent our colleagues in La Crosse a statement that says he speaks to hundreds of folks every week and says people care about inflation and crime. He added, quote, "It's no surprise to see Pfaff standing with radicals that vote with Nancy Pelosi 95% of the time," end quote. A former Monroe County jail nurse is facing 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault. Investigators say 53-year-old Teresa Fenningo initially denied she did anything wrong until detectives told her she was caught on camera spending extra time in an exam room with an inmate, and the two could be seen in close contact and possibly kissing. Fenningo told detectives she felt pressured by the inmate to have inappropriate contact. She also admitted to giving the inmate her antidepressant medication as well as tobacco and cash. Fenningo is free on bond and she will return to court next week. Darrell Brooks appeared more reserved in his trial Friday. He's accused of running his car through a Christmas parade in Waukesha last year. But he still questioned the witnesses yesterday as they described what happened during the horrific parade. Arman Rahman has the details.
It was calls for help like this that Waukesha police officer Jeremy Phillips says came through his ear on the night of the parade last year as he was helping an injured woman and her 2 friends nearby.
Other people were coming on the radio and stating there were subjects down in the street, that it was 10 people down, that it was 15, then it was to 30 or 40.
The situation kept escalating, so he rushed to the parade scene.
At that point, I was just trying to assist any officer, EMS, civilian individual that was around, and it was just mass chaos, carnage everywhere.
Phillips says he started giving aid to what appeared to be high school band members.
I had face-to-face contact with a few of them laying on the ground. There were parents screaming at me to help their kids.
Other parade attendees testified Friday about the moment the chaos started when they saw the red SUV they initially thought was part of the parade.
But it was going really fast, and I said to myself, why is this going so fast? And then it clicked as soon as it switched over to the far left lane, and then into the group of people right in front of me.
Holly Berg says right in front of her was a Catholic community group of at least 15.
I heard sounds like thuds, and then it was in the air, like bowling pins.
Both civilian witnesses say they saw a man they identified as Brooks in the same SUV earlier that day.
About 10 seconds after, I froze and I said to my mom, who was with me, I just saw that guy at the gas station.
Brooks has 83 charges filed against him. 8:07 this morning, more than 12,000 Wisconsin Medicaid members had their personal information, including their Social Security numbers and Medicaid ID numbers, exposed and potentially stolen. That's according to the State Department of Health Services. The exposure happened when a presentation that included protected health information was emailed to the agency's Children's Long-Term Support Council in April of 2021. That presentation was then posted on the DHS's website as part of the minutes of a meeting. Anyone whose information may have been stolen can call 833-875-0804. All right, still ahead this morning, taking care of trees as the colder weather approaches. And you're taking a live look outside at the Capitol. Greg's tracking the next chance of rain when we get back.
This portion of News 3 Now sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning. The price of gold is at a 7-year high. Get top cash on the spot for your gold at Diamond Select. Cash in today while the price of gold is high. Don't miss out. Get instant cash for your gold today at Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
Lean back and save at the Century House. Right now, buy stressless recliners, sofas, or office chairs and get up to $1,500 credit towards the purchase of more. Or save $400 on stressless signature-based recliners and ottomans and motorized classic power recliners. Don't wait. Take the opportunity to fill your home with stressless comfort for less. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
The women I see have been through brutal, unimaginable things. I'll never understand why politicians like Ron Johnson make it so hard for women. He supported the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, outlawing abortion in Wisconsin. Even for victims of rape and incest, abortion is criminalized in Wisconsin. Doctors can be prosecuted. My most vulnerable patients will have nowhere to turn. Ron Johnson doesn't care about us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, get 2.49% APR for 48 months on a new Toyota Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, or Tacoma. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
At Diamond Select, our on-site goldsmith can create a beautiful one-of-a-kind piece. Whether it's repurposing an old ring or creating from a picture online, we're here to help you create jewelry of your dreams. Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, it's going to be a cold start today, but overall not a bad weekend really to view the colors right now. We're reaching the peak in northern Wisconsin, and we'll start seeing more of the central and southern Wisconsin here getting the peak in the next week. But there'll be some wind today, but overall not too bad. Drought conditions, we talked about it, this is a quite dry stretch now, and especially as you go further west, they've actually in the top 10 driest Septembers in Minnesota, a lot of those locations. Even western Wisconsin is starting to dry, so we could use the rain. Overall, this freeze stuff is actually going to be ending here. We got some clouds that are approaching from the north, but otherwise, we're kind of in the clear right now between systems. You zoom in, temperatures did bottom out, but we're starting to increase them, and especially as you go further north ahead of that system that's coming down, they've actually increased too, which we'll see more of those warmer temperatures tomorrow. So overall, you see the clouds will be coming screaming down to the north. We have westerly winds that'll start turning back around, so that will help us warm up, but it will be breezy. And then tomorrow, as you see that clouds come through, there comes that system that's just going to bring another round of clouds. Overall, not much other than a little bit of a wind shift, but not too much. Then as we get to Monday, Tuesday, you start seeing the wind starting to approach from the south. That is the system that's coming by Wednesday, but ahead of it, we're really going to get a lot of southerly winds and definitely warmer temperatures too. So overall today we're going to be mid to upper 50s, a few spots getting 60 degrees. Westerly winds with that 10 to 20 miles per hour, so it will be a little bit breezy, but overall not too bad. We'll see clouds coming in later tonight. We'll drop off into the 40s. Warmer for most locations just because of the cloud cover and the wind flow, so it won't be as cold as we had this morning. And then as we wake up tomorrow, once again, you'll be in the low 40s. And then we'll climb back up into about the mid to upper 50s. More 60s once we get through Sunday, more even mid to upper 60s too. And there's a cloud cover that kind of comes through, but that shouldn't pose a problem. Just a little bit of a wind shift to the north in the afternoon. Here's the next chance of rain. That first wave comes up Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then the main front kind of digs south, and that's more Wednesday into Thursday. So there is an opportunity to get some widespread rain right now. We'll see if this evolves like it, and then it kind of clears out by Thursday. So that's the one idea we could have, getting some much needed rain. So overall, you see you could get up to 74 by La Crosse and by Tuesday, so quite warm. The front comes through Wednesday, Thursday, with the rain chances looking pretty good right now, cooling off. The same thing could be said for Madison too. 70, we could top that off by Tuesday. Windy too, the stretch too, and that then gets winds on the backside by Thursday. So we do need the rain coming through, but like I said, still a good weekend to see all the leaves. They're not quite peaking yet. And just a reminder too, we do have the coats this last day here to get those coats in there.
Yeah, that's right. Last day for Coats for Kids. You can donate new or gently used coats and accessories to any Clinky Cleaners location. So Greg, we got a little warmer coming. Yep. Might see some rain. So good to get back in that more seasonal average. It's chilly out right now though. I tell you what, when I got in here, I had to put on a winter coat.
It is about the time we should be. October 11th is the average date for Madison to get the first freezer frost.
That first one just kind of shocks you a little bit, right?
It is, but we'll see this trend now every day. Every time we go through these systems, the temperature won't rebound as high as it did before.
Yeah.
So that
you remember you live in Wisconsin, that's for sure.
Of course, yeah.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Well, the Zoe Bayless Co-op has found a new home on Langdon Street, giving a group of UW students some peace of mind. The co-op's search for a new home began when UW leadership announced their building on Johnson was being torn down for a new academic building. The new property still needs a lot of renovations, but it does mean rent will stay low. They plan to have the new house open by next year's fall semester. A series of speed reductions on roads across Madison this year will wrap up next week when the speed limit is reduced on Seago Road. Starting Monday, the entire stretch of Seago Road from University Ave to Odana Road will see its speed limit drop from 30 miles per hour down to 25. Temporary digital signs will be placed along the road to remind drivers of the change, and permanent speed limit signs will also be changed. Fall colors are finally here. You can see them behind me, and even though the trees seem to thrive on their own, they still need a little extra help. All trees, even the 100-year-old maple tree, need water, especially during the dry fall season, which Greg just touched on. Local arborists say trees need an inch of water twice a week, and they have a chance and a clever trick to keep track.
You can do that by running your sprinkler and taking like a tuna can, putting that out by the tree, and running it until it fills up to about an inch.
Hess recommends evenly watering the base of your trees so all the roots get water, and do this consistently until the ground starts to freeze around mid-November. Hard to believe we're already talking about that stuff. All right, coming up this morning, President Biden's comments on Russia's war in Ukraine, and there are several new shows and movies to check out this weekend. Will Loper shares his and his 3 things to watch.
It's our biggest sale of the year. And you can save big
on quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale and help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Mandela Barnes is spreading a lot more than just peanut butter. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes on his Milwaukee condo, bought with family money. While not paying property taxes, Barnes bought a second condo, went to Vegas, even sat courtside for a Bucks game. Asked about his unpaid taxes, Barnes said,
It's Juneteenth. Hey, it's Juneteenth. They want to talk about property tax.
Now Barnes wants to talk about peanut butter. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original windows. Boom.
No need to be afraid of old windows. Call Feldco for 50% off.
It's the biggest sale of the season. 50% off Feldco windows, plus no money down and no interest until 2024.
50% off windows ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Helpful hints for you from Meineke. It's important to monitor the tread level and tire pressure on your car's tires. Don't wait until it's too late. Stop into Meineke and get your tires inspected today. If you need new tires, we have a special offer for you. Get free mounting and balancing of 4 new General or Continental brand tires with purchase of our complete tire installation package. That's a savings of almost $100. Our tire installation package includes mounting and balancing, road hazard, tire disposal, and wheel alignment. Set up your appointment at Meineke.com today.
Follow the fall colors to the Oakwood Fruit Farm just east of Richland Center. Over 20 varieties of your favorite apples to choose from. We grow and handpick the very best for you. A tradition we've kept in our family farm since 1904. Your family will love our delicious treats. Fresh apple cider, caramel apples, homemade pastries, including our legendary apple cider donuts. You'll want to make Oakwood Fruit Farm part of your fall traditions. Come to the Oakwood Fruit Farm. Visit oakwoodfruitfarm.com.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
It's our biggest sale of the year, and you can save big
on quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale and help us celebrate.
Over 25 years at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Yeah, right now we still have temperatures right around freezing, but they are starting to increase as the sun has started to come up. So plants and everything else should be good to go now for the rest of the day. Visibility still Wisconsin River area. Otherwise, everyone else is looking good. La Crosse, we're going up to about 60 degrees here, give or take a few degrees, but the winds will pick up from 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the west. Sunny skies, a few clouds late. Same story for Madison, too. We're looking at temperatures climbing back up to around the upper 50s. West winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Bottom line, like I said, it's going to be warmer today, a little breezy still. Warmer even Sunday and Monday, 60s and then 70s on Tuesday. And then the rain chance looks to be Tuesday through Wednesday with the best shot probably Tuesday night into Wednesday.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Well, there's clearly no shortage of films and shows streaming nowadays. Our Will Loper shares a few of the best in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch.
You're my only daughter. If I say that you shall be married, then married you shall be.
Newly streaming on Amazon Prime is the movie Catherine Called Birdie.
I've come here to propose marriage.
A man has come and asked for me by name. You cannot mean Our Lady Catherine. She's a vile creature.
Some say she has a third ear.
She does.
Have you seen this third ear?
I've seen it.
Where?
Back of her neck.
What, is it functional?
Spare.
Spare.
I'm not interested in meeting him nor any man with his intentions.
Bella Ramsey, who you might recognize from Game of Thrones, stars as Lady Catherine, who is being married off by her destitute father, but Birdie sets herself to fend off any potential suitor.
I am, thank the Lord, very cunning. Most girls are, though we're not giving due credit for it.
Catherine Called Birdie is streaming on Amazon Prime Video now.
Tonight, it is every hunter for themselves.
Good luck. Newly streaming on Disney Plus is the Marvel special presentation, Werewolf by Night.
But one of you is a monster, masquerading as one of our own.
Gail Garcia Bernal stars in the 53-minute horror film about a group of monster hunters who gather to compete for a relic and face off against a werewolf.
Please don't do this. Death is coming for you!
Werewolf by Night is streaming on Disney Plus now.
You've lost 30 grand.
What?
Does anyone have any ideas about who might have sabotaged to date?
And newly streaming on Netflix is the reality series, The Mole.
The person you least suspect is the person you should suspect the most.
The beloved reality show from 2001 gets revived, with 12 new contestants vying for a money prize, while one of them works as a mole to sabotage them.
You guys are actively searching for the password?
If it's a strategy, it's a dang good one.
It was a horrible start to our mission.
Voila, there's another 10K loss.
No.
The first episode of The Mole is streaming on Netflix now.
So you haven't lied once?
Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for Weekend Mornings.
Coming up next this morning, a new development out of Uvalde, Texas, where residents are hoping for accountability.
Fall in love with a stylish and quality dining room set this fall, like my Montana Dining Collection. Get the table with 6 chairs, only $9.99, or table, 4 chairs, and storage bench, still only $9.99, with financing options to fit your budget.
Get Boss discount!
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead costs.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Tim Michael's company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. But he says
people love working at Michael's.
Women said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
We have a great work culture.
Higher-ups called the women liars and fired those who spoke out. So when he says this,
we have a great work culture,
know that the culture comes from the top.
Something to remember if you don't think fire sprinklers are necessary. Almost everything will dry out, but nothing will unburn. Whether you live in a house or a high-rise, protect it with fire sprinklers. Fire sprinklers buy time, time buys life.
Some numbers are thrilling, some impressive, some just right. After an accident, there's one critical number. The number that helps you get your life back by factoring in your needs for today and tomorrow. That's where Habish and Rotier's numbers really add up. With over 90 years of client successes and 13 offices to help you wherever you are. No other personal injury law firm is better suited to get the amount that's right for you.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes. I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member. Oh, yes. Certainly. You know, we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow. I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
Celebrate the fall by falling in love with a room of your dreams. You'll find complete dining sets starting at $5.99, sofas starting at $4.99, and even more savings on bedrooms, mattresses, and more, with many financing options available.
Get Boss discount!
Right now, accountability and transparency. That's what residents of Uvalde are searching for after the police force was suspended. And how one local community is reacting to the popular Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix series.
And many areas are experiencing their first frost or freezes of the season, meaning the growing season has come to an end. I'll let you know if that means the end of the warm days also.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on Weekend Mornings. I'm Shane Hogan. Before we get to our top stories this morning, we're going to get a check outside with Greg. It's a chilly one today, but things are looking up, Greg.
Yeah, it's going to be a chilly start for a lot of people, but we're starting to see temperatures climb up. So overall, we're climbed up now into the low to mid 30s for most locations, not really seeing any 20s out there. Winds have turned around from the west, too. Overall, satellite shows all the freeze that in the background purple, they've been canceled or expired since the temperatures have warmed up. That's our next little system coming down here, but overall, sky conditions are good. Still visibility issues, just the Wisconsin River. Everything is starting to improve, and I would say in a couple hours that should be also going away. So right now, 39 degrees in Madison right now. 33 degree dew point. We should see temperatures then climb up to about the mid 50s by afternoon, or upper 50s too. The winds will increase out of the west with 10 to 15 miles per hour. La Crosse, 35 degrees south-southeast. They've already started to see the winds come up a little bit. So once again, they'll see temperatures also climb up into the upper 50s to near 60. They'll probably touch 60 degrees here today, a sign of things that come with the winds too. Overall, here's your temperatures right now. A lot of 60 degrees, mid upper 50s, a little bit below average, but not too bad for really this time of October and get out and see the leaves. But we're going to get warmer, and I'll break that down here, how much warmer we'll get, and the next chance of rain here a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. More than 4 months after the Texas elementary school mass shooting that killed 19 students and 2 teachers, Uvalde School District has suspended its entire police force. The extraordinary step comes as family members of the victims continue to question response by law enforcement. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has more on what happens next.
The police department responsible for the safety of students at Robb Elementary has now been told to stand down. In a press release Friday, the Uvalde School District said recent developments have uncovered additional concerns with department operations. As a result, the district has made the decision to suspend all activities of the Uvalde CISD Police Department for a period of time. They said 2 officers were placed on administrative leave and others will find other roles in the district. Victims' family members say it is a move they wanted.
You know, nobody wins in this case. There's no winners. The children can't come home, but it's something called transparency and it's something called accountability. So we are pleased with this, but it's not over yet.
During the mass shooting in May, officers waited more than an hour to enter a classroom and take down the gunman. In August, the district fired Police Chief Pete Arredondo, but families have been demanding more, staging protests outside the school administration building. This week, outrage grew after it was reported the district had hired a former state trooper who responded to the shooting as a school resource officer. She was fired Thursday. Family members say they still have questions.
I want to know, what time did the officers get there? You know, what information were they told and how did they respond with that information? There's a lot that we have still questions about.
An investigation is ongoing. The district says for now it's asking additional state troopers to step in to help secure campuses. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
The longtime Uvalde school superintendent may also be stepping down. School trustees are set to discuss his retirement at a meeting on Monday. President Biden says Russia is pushing the world closer to a nuclear conflict as Vladimir Putin's forces continue to lose ground in Ukraine. The president ignored questions from the press one day after saying at a fundraiser, quote, "We have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis," end quote. The administration says the comments were not based on new intelligence about the likelihood of an attack. Sharon Squassoni is a research professor at George Washington University and has held senior positions at the State Department. She says the key objective now is to make sure this conflict does not cross the nuclear threshold.
I don't think that threat is credible, mostly because that could literally invite nuclear Armageddon.
Tensions are likely to remain high with Russia planning nuclear exercises later this month. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, is commenting on the president's words. She says Biden was voicing concerns about threats Russia is making against the entire world.
Is actually an attack on all of us. It's an attack on the United Nations. It's an attack on all of our values. And I think what the president wanted to be clear about is that this is something we all need to be working to address.
Ambassador Thomas Greenfield also says working in the UN, there are many countries around the world who feel the threat that Putin is posing, and they have made that clear in their condemnation of him and Russia. Meanwhile, after years of investigating Hunter Biden, the FBI and IRS believe they have enough evidence to prosecute the president's son. Federal prosecutors believe they could charge Hunter Biden with tax crimes and making false statements on a gun purchase, but a final decision still has not made by the U.S. attorney in Delaware. Cleanup and rescue efforts continue in southwestern Florida as the death toll from Hurricane Ian hits 127. In Lee County, which saw the highest number of deaths, search and rescue teams are looking through demolished homes and buildings for signs of life. While Ian has passed, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says the danger remains even further inland.
The issue is, like, you have all this water that's built up and the coastal areas drain a lot easier.
The governor says Florida's disaster relief fund has raised nearly $40 million to help people in need as the state braces for a long recovery ahead. It's hard to deny the immense interest in Jeffrey Dahmer's case, especially right now. A 10-episode Netflix series reenacts the gruesome details. But there are plenty of people who would prefer this series was never made, wanting to quietly move on with their lives. Catherine Merck found one such woman in Portage, a city with its own dark connection to Dahmer.
Millions of people are binging the Jeffrey Dahmer docuseries on Netflix.
Work duty.
But many people in Portage, Wisconsin, watched parts of that story play out in person.
I won't be watching that show because it was bad enough to live through it.
Cheryl Lanoy worked at the Portage Public Library the day Jeffrey Dahmer was beaten and killed.
Some people around here are going to remember what they were doing.
What they were doing when Jeffrey Dahmer's life sentence became a death sentence.
Dahmer was serving nearly 1,000 years in Columbia Correctional for his cannibalistic murders. November 28th, 1994, a fellow inmate beat him to death within the Portage prison walls.
We got a call from CNN, and they said, "Do you have a layout of the prison?" And we thought, something is going on at the prison, but they wouldn't tell us.
To an international audience, the murder of an infamous serial killer put Portage on the map. For people who live here, it was unwanted attention.
And there are all these articles about why we shouldn't have the prison here, and we didn't want to be known as Portage, the prison city.
Nearly 30 years later, Portage still struggles with that unofficial name, with renewed attention due to the popular Netflix series, something people back then couldn't even imagine.
I'm just hoping this will be the closing of the final chapter for his victims' families.
Instead, it's a story still churning up unpleasant memories, which, much like Dahmer, will haunt Wisconsin forever. Reporting in Portage, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
According to Netflix, people have streamed nearly 300 million hours worth of the Jeffrey Dahmer story in its second week online. Well, still ahead this morning, Jim Leonard makes his debut as head coach today. His thoughts before the game.
This Saturday through Tuesday only, you'll get our best discounts of the whole year. Everyone gets an extra 33% off our already low Slumberland prices. October 8th through 11th, shop our wide range of mattresses and furniture, only at Slumberland Furniture.
It's dangerous up here, and it's no fun shopping around for a reputable contractor.
I've built my company on the promise to treat our customers like we would our own family. That means an honest, no-pressure sales experience, expert craftsmanship, and a lifetime guarantee of our work.
We know Gutter Shutter is the best system for you and your home, and we'd love to show you how it can keep you safe and off that ladder forever. So call us or visit us online to set up your free estimate, and we can show you what Gutter Shutter and the Larson Home Experience is all about.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Qualified lessees can use $1,000 engine lease cash to get this Silverado for around $449 a month, or get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories.
For the plunge you never thought they'd take. For the day you never thought would come. For all the years that have come and gone.
For all those special moments that make life worth living. Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Ron Johnson caught lying. Independent fact checks call his attacks on Mandela Barnes false and misleading. But it's Johnson's views that are alarming. Johnson supported a ban on abortions. He co-sponsored a bill that makes no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And Johnson said if women don't like it, they can move. The truth is, it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
This Saturday through Tuesday only, you'll get our best discounts of the whole year. Everyone gets an extra 33% off our already low Slumberland prices. October 8th through 11th, shop our wide range of mattresses and furniture, only at Slumberland Furniture.
Coats for Kids needs kid-sized winter coats. Thousands of them, to make sure every child in our area stays warm this winter.
Please help us reach our goal. Donate gently used kid-sized winter coats at any Clinky Cleaners.
They'll be cleaned and sent to the Community Action Coalition for distribution.
Don't have a kid's coat to give? Go to Channel 3000 and use the Amazon wish list to donate.
Track our progress on News 3 Now and Magic 98. Then donate to Coach for Kids.
Yeah, temperatures have continued to warm up. Now we're into the low to mid 30s, so that's just the trend that we'll see today, going up to about 60 degrees for many locations, mid to upper 50s elsewhere, so overall not a bad day. Packer game tomorrow. Here's a view of what the satellite looks like right now. It looks dry, and that system out to the west should hold off till we get to basically Monday of their time. So overall conditions really good. Low 60s, a little breeze out of the south wind, but overall increasing clouds, but no rain to speak of. So actually pretty good conditions over there, Shane.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Yeah, they on their way to London. They're already there. They're getting ready for the game tomorrow. That will kick off at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll get to that. But it has been a busy day for the Packers. You know, Thursday, the team practiced, then hopped on a plane, flew across the pond in England. Greg just showed you the weather. Looks good for them there. When they landed, though, they hit the practice field to shake the legs out. And if you ask them what time it is or what day of the week it is, you know, they might be a little confused with the time change, but they're excited about playing in London for the first time in franchise history and wish they could stay a little longer.
We're just excited to be here, and a lot of us who love to travel, you know, we're kind of hoping for a Monday takeoff so we can enjoy, you know, some food and some culture and maybe a Premier League game. But either way, we're excited to be here, and this is not just a normal road trip, even though the coaches speak as always, hey, we're here to win a game, yada, yada, yada. This is definitely more special.
Jim Leonhard has played or coached in 273 games in college and in the NFL, but none with the role of head coach. That changes today, so the experience and his duties will be a little different, but there are a few things that will remain the same. He'll still call the plays on defense, and Bobby Ingram will still call the offense, and more importantly, Leonhard is still going to be himself on the sidelines.
We want to carry on what Coach Christ had, right, as far as the messaging and what the goals of this team were. I'm going to do it my way, right? And that's the advice I got coming into coaching, right, was being genuine to who you are and what you believe in. Very, very open about that, right? How I handle the emotions, right, the messaging to the team. Like, I'm going to be true to myself.
The Badgers kick off against Northwestern at 2:30. All right, still ahead this morning, remembering a Wisconsin businessman. And you're taking a live look outside over the Capitol. It's a chilly morning. Greg is tracking when those temps will rise when we get back.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
It's buy this, get that free at Hy-Vee this Friday through Sunday. Buy one, get one free on Jimmy Dean Bacon. Buy one, get one free on Doritos. And buy one, get one free on a 24-pack of Hy-Vee water. This Friday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Lean back and save at the Century House. Right now, buy stressless recliners, sofas, or office chairs and get up to $1,500 credit towards the purchase of more. Or save $400 on stressless signature-based recliners and ottomans and motorized classic power recliners. Don't wait. Take the opportunity to fill your home with stressless comfort for less. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. But he says
people love working at Michaels.
Women said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
We have a great work culture.
Higher-ups called the women liars and fired those who spoke out. So when he says this,
we have a great work culture,
know that the culture comes from the top.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
It's buy this, get that free at Hy-Vee this Friday through Sunday. Buy one, get one free on Hy-Vee cottage cheese. Buy 3, get 2 free on Coke products. And buy 1 pound of Hy-Vee deli meat, get a ½ pound of cheese free. This Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, although we're starting off cold, it should still be a nice day and nice weekend to actually view the leaves as they've continued to turn colors. Right now, it's peak in northern Wisconsin. We're getting closer to central and then southern Wisconsin here soon, too. But overall, we're starting to see more of that, and the conditions should be pretty good. A little breezy today, but overall, pretty nice. Right now, we're kind of between systems. That one to the south is pushed away. The northerly winds have kind of decreased. We're getting more of a westerly flow. And then we have some clouds coming in from the north, a system that'll bring us just really clouds and maybe a wind shift tomorrow. But other than that, shouldn't see too much. Otherwise, good sky conditions, clear skies right now, so overall we're looking pretty good. If you look at the temperature change, really to the west, we've seen that temperature, to the east with the behind the cold front, starting to warm up ahead of that, so that's kind of a sign of how we'll be a little bit warmer tonight and even tomorrow ahead of this system coming down. So today you'll see clouds a little bit increase. The winds more westerly will pick up today, so it'll be a little bit breezy, but out of the west, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Through tonight and tomorrow, we'll see cloud cover continue. Westerly winds will keep the temps up, and then here's that next little system kind of dives south. But overall, just a cloud cover, and then the winds turn around to more northwest, but really won't see much other than that. As we get towards Monday, Tuesday, the winds start turning back from the south. That's a system that's coming from the west. That will usher in some much warmer temperatures for the start of this work week until we get to about Wednesday. So overall, you can see temperatures today, mid to upper 50s, a few spots 60s as we go through this afternoon. A few clouds as we go through the evening and overnight, but that'll help to keep the temperatures up overnight as we drop down into the low 40s, even mid 40s in certain areas. We won't see too many of those areas get down close to the mid 30s as much as we saw this morning. Tomorrow, once again, more westerly winds, a few clouds coming back into the picture, but overall, we should be warmer tomorrow, more mid to upper 60s. Pretty close to average for this time of year. So overall, Sunday shouldn't be a bad day. And then as we look at the pattern change, we're going to warm up. We'll get some warm air ahead of us, and then we get another cold air mass that descends south. That'll be more Wednesday, Thursday. That'll be our next rain chance, but also when we'll start getting colder. And you can see, we'll see the rain chance on the 10-day. You can see overall, we're going to see temperatures get up to about 74 at La Crosse. That's when the front comes through. The best shot for rain is going to be a Tuesday night, Wednesday. We drop off after that, back to about average or below average. Breezy conditions too. The same could be said for La Crosse. I meant Madison, which I jumped ahead, but that's not a much of a change either. So temperatures should climb back up to the upper 60s, and then rain Wednesday and cooler. So, and remember, this is the last day for Coats for Kids.
That's right. We want to remind you one more time, Coats for Kids ends today. You can donate new or gently used coats and accessories at any Clinky Cleaners location. Always a good reminder as we approach the colder temps, Greg. It is here. I had to put a winter coat on this morning, but you know, you do remember, we do live in Wisconsin.
It's October.
We shouldn't be surprised.
It's almost, it's not quite middle of October, but it's getting there. So, it's about where we should be. So
I just think that first one kind of wakes you up a little bit.
It hits you. Yeah. It's kind of like that first flake of snow kind of hits you.
It's like, is this really happening already? All right, Greg, thank you very much. Well, a small Wisconsin town tale hasn't had an end until now. One of the first Black River Falls businessmen is finally being recognized permanently. As News 8 Now's Dua Israr explains, it took 80 years and work by the entire community.
In a small town,
people can live in a community their entire life and not really know much.
Some stories are passed down from generation to generation.
There's thousands of stories in those communities.
You'll find others hidden behind stacks of files and newspaper clippings.
He sort of pieced his story together from that.
Historian Paul Reichen's father was a Lutheran pastor in the 1960s.
He had an elder parishioner named Chris Olson.
Officiant Thorwald Reichen spoke at the funeral for Olson's wife, creating a bond between the two men. As a kid, Reichen spent many years at Olson's home.
He never told me the story of Yep Ging. My father did, though.
Yep Ging, the Chinese laundryman.
He became very well known in the community. He was a very kind man who worked very hard.
The story of the only Chinese laundryman of Black River Falls would remain a tale to Reichen for several years, until he had a conversation with the historian at Black River Falls Library, Mary Woods.
In those 28 years, there's probably not a story that has touched my lives more than the story of Yep Ging.
A story without an end.
When I asked where is Yep buried, said he's buried in an unmarked grave.
The unmarked grave and the tale tied to it inspired Woods and Reichen to fill in the blanks.
He was one of the first businessmen downtown to have a gramophone, so he wanted to have music playing when people came in.
Ging's story a puzzle.
Yep was known for liking the winter sun.
Pieced together word by word.
He just became more alive to us.
But that wasn't the end for Woods and Reichen. It was making sure
that Yep Ging will never be forgotten.
Donations from the community placed Ging's name where it belongs. The tale of the Chinese laundryman spans generations.
I did know Chris as a young man. My own father died 9 years ago, so certainly I was feeling nostalgic as I did it.
And nearly 80 years later,
nobody should be forgotten. Nobody.
The final chapter of this small town tale is etched in stone. Reporting in Black River Falls, Duesrar, News 8 Now.
For more on this history and others about Black River Falls, you can visit the Falls History Project website. Well, coming up next, a local innovation updating a beloved game.
It's A1 Furniture's anniversary sale with up to 43% off store-wide and 43 months free financing. Plus, get tax included on purchases over $9.99. Huge selection in stock now at A1 Furniture.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
Have you ever experienced this view? Hi, Andrew Larson here. With Gutter Shutter, you'll never have to experience it again. Please give up this dangerous chore and protect your home's foundation with Gutter Shutter, the strongest, most durable, maintenance-free gutter on the market. Over the past 15 years, my team has installed thousands of maintenance-free gutter systems across South Central Wisconsin. We'd love to come out and show you what Gutter Shutter can do for you and your home, but most importantly, keep you safe and off that ladder. So call today for a free estimate.
Reducing prison populations is now sexy. Reducing prison populations is now sexy.
Sexy? Mandela Barnes's administration has released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists. That's not sexy. It's terrifying. And as a mother, I don't want Mandela Barnes anywhere near the Senate. From defunding our police to releasing predators, Mandela Barnes is a threat to Wisconsin families.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Okay, let's start with some clouds, some mountains over there, and finally a river. Hey, Dad, look.
Looks like the perfect spot.
American Family Insurance is here to protect your family on the road with the Travel Peace of Mind package. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance.
I'm a Vegas hotel. I know what you're thinking. It's cool. I don't want anything long-term either. Just a few nights of fun. I'm looking for someone who will let loose. Dress up a little. See a show. Order the steak and the lobster. Some people say I'm excessive, but who cares? I just want to enjoy some late nights. And some very late checkouts. Think you can keep up?
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
Don't miss This A1 Furniture's anniversary sale. Save up to 43% off name brand mattresses and get 43 months free financing. Plus, get tax included on purchases over $9.99. Huge selection in stock now at A1 Furniture.
Madison's locally owned family furniture store.
Spinning new possibilities on the dance floor, Monday at 10.
Finally this morning, some local individuals aren't playing games when it comes to, well, the game they invented. It just took them 48 hours to create Bocce Roll. In a competition called Make 48, they went from idea to prototype to product. Now they're showing us how they're taking aim at the next steps to make sure Bocce Roll will be front and center in your backyard.
There's something about a good Wisconsin yard game.
Anyone can set it up.
Players stake their claim.
And this is just to keep the mat consistent and in the same place.
And as soon as the friendly competition is
ready to roll,
let the trash talking,
not cool,
begin.
Bring it on.
This is a new game called Bocce Roll. Basically a bocce ball skee ball hybrid that rolls right back up into a neat little package.
It's just a good way to hang out on a weekend.
Claude Dreyfel and Zach Huber are part of a team that created and designed the game in a regional competition last year.
So whoever gets closest to that gets points. And you also get points based on the targets that you're in. So we just alternate throws.
They came in first. Since then, after working out a few kinks in the first prototype, interest in Bocce Roll is, well, ramping up.
Almost every time I've had it out somewhere, you have someone come up to you and ask, what is this? This looks awesome. Can I play and where can I buy it?
The answer to that is hopefully everywhere. They've formed a company called Well Played Wisconsin, and they're working with a manufacturer.
So I got 4.
To get it to major retailers.
Just the idea that we could start a company, get it trademarked, patented, it's a lot easier than you think. So it's kind of cool just to realize if you have an idea that you really can bring it to market.
So you're up 1-0.
Making bank isn't the only target. They just want to get Bocce Roll to your backyards. And if you know these two...
Got it.
Guess what everybody's getting for Christmas?
After all, when it comes to boosting the bonds of friendship...
Let's score.
A little friendly competition...
If we had a scoreboard, I'd point to it.
Can get the ball rolling.
When we were creating it, we were thinking about yard games and what people like about yard games, and it's, you know, the games are fun, but to us, the real fun is standing next to someone talking and trash talking and just having a good time.
That was our Brady Mallory reporting there. The team that invented Bocce Roll also includes Ben Fisher and Nikki Hageman. Well Played Wisconsin went on to participate in the national competition. It's currently airing on PBS, so they didn't give Brady any hints on how they did. But you can find Bocce Roll on Instagram and online and even learn how to win your own set. Looks like a really fun game, Greg. Getting outside, obviously. Not a lot of time to be spending outside.
I wouldn't be doing it this morning.
Not
It'd be a
this
little
morning,
chilly
that's
there.
for sure.
But overall, we're going to see temperatures warm up today. Right now, currently temperatures have got all the way to 40 degrees now on the cross. So we are improving. The sun's out, 43 in Madison right now. So we'll see that continue. 60 degrees for many locations, upper 50s for others. But overall, closer to average, but not quite there. But overall, if you see, as we plan that out, 10 to 15 with the wind, and the temperatures increase to about 57 degrees here in Madison. Same story for La Crosse, a little warmer, but the winds will pick up out of the west, which is kind of good because it does mean a little bit warmer than the north winds that we've had lately. Overall, the big picture is breezy, not as cold today. Like I said, mid-50s to low 60s. Warmer tomorrow, 60s, and then, like I said, 70s on Tuesday, with the next chance of rain coming Tuesday through Thursday, which it does look pretty good, and we could use the rain. We have been pretty dry for the last week.
Yeah, after a lot of weekends in a row, we had some rain. Last weekend, none. Looks like that'll be back coming up this week, but you're saying that's a good thing.
Yeah, for western areas of Wisconsin, and especially go to Minneapolis, and they've had a dry September, so they could use the rain. We could.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. And thank you guys for joining us this morning. Get outside and enjoy the day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.